Hey everybody, we are live. Look who's sitting next to me, everyone. I have finally tracked her down and got her on the show. It's taken me ages. Welcome to the one and only, the amazing Robbie Harte.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on the show. It's great to finally sit down and connect with you.
It is definitely, and I've been so looking forward to this show. And I think out of all the shows in the last sort of 2 months, I think this is going to be one I'm really looking forward to. Not that I
Oh,
don't look forward to any of the others, but I've been
I
really looking forward to
understand.
meeting you.
Thank you. I have been very much anticipating this one as well, and I'm so excited to be here. So thank you so much for having me on your show today.
You're welcome. So, just to let everybody else know out there in podcast land and Facebook land, we are live. We are live with the amazing Robbie Harte, and we're going to have a very special time with Robbie, getting to know her music journey and also getting to know her life in terms of the way she has touched and supported local and national charities, because that's what we're here for at One Life. So just a couple of bit of housekeeping rules in relation to this month. It is a very difficult month in terms of supporting Willen Hospice over there in Milton Keynes. The other side from me, we're quite far away in terms of Devon and Milton Keynes. I was trying to work out how long it would take me to get back to my old neck of the woods because I used to live near there. It's quite some hours away, but they still continue to watch our shows and they still continue to do an amazing job over at Willen Hospice, supporting adults who have palliative care needs, supporting their families out in the community, within their homes, and they're still doing an amazing job, and we're all very proud of you. We're on week 2 of this amazing campaign for Willen Hospice put forward by Wesson. And Weston say hello to all the lovely artists who continue supporting this amazing project, and they're very, very thankful for all what we're doing. In relation to Willen Hospice, I want to remind each and every one of you, every single time I do this show, we are there for you as artists. If anything it's said during this show touches your heart or you need someone to speak to, please do not keep it to you and your mobile phone. Please make sure you reach out to a friend or a loved one. And also, you know that here at One Life, we're there for you as well. All of our artists have given up their time to speak about their music, to speak about their charities, but every single one of them is dedicated to being a community of artists to support everyone out there. Okay, so even though they're super, super busy on stage and super, super busy getting their albums and singles released for you, they're also there as people. And I'm sure, at any time, if you're going through a very life-changing moment, please pick up the phone to any of us. We'd rather you do that than basically keep it to yourself. In relation to One Life yourself, a couple of updates. We did have Austin's memorial yesterday. Sorry, not yesterday, day before. And it went really, really well. Fantastic well. I just want to say thank you so much to the family and friends. We had an amazing response on the 2-hour show that we done in his name. We're still getting messages now, and it was a lovely, lovely show. Please go ahead and watch that show because I think it showcased an artist that was taken away from us far too early. But it also does show that actually emotional health and, mental health is difficult in the music industry, and things can get to you. They can get to your mind. They can get to your head. And the struggles of the music industry can sometimes be too much. And I just want you to take a moment, if you are going through those difficulties, to do exactly the same as I'm asking for those families with palliative care needs, is to reach out, talk to your mum and dad, talk to your family members, never feel that you're alone. And to be honest, the music industry isn't enough really to, have that thought of, I can't do this no more. There's always going to be another singer out there who's going to be just as amazing as what you are. And I know you want to make it. I know you want to be famous. But seriously, that the music industry shouldn't be taking you to that level. And I just want you to make sure that just reach out. We're always going to be there to help you. And us music artists will collaborate together to make sure that the next single, the next album, the next part of your journey is super amazing. And, you will never be alone. And that's my other update that I would like to tell Robbie, because I'm really excited. I had a meeting with Michael R. Rose from the ISSA yesterday, and he is going to take over the musical production of One Life.
Oh,
So he's going to
wow.
help me reproduce the singles in One Life. So you will be seeing a lot of me vocally now, as well as a podcast host. So I'll be doing some warm-ups on Smule, as I always do, to help me warm up. And I'll also be releasing some singles with Michael this year, and I'm so excited and so thankful to Michael to believe in me, believe in the One Life journey. And I'm so excited to see what comes out there in terms of music for the One Life project. We're going to tailor-made the album to collaborate with artists like Robbie and also artists around the world to try and put some of those best singles on an album to local and national charities, so everybody is able to be supported by us here at One Life. And that includes Willen Hospice down there. Willen Hospice, we have decided that we're going to send you over 2 or 3 tracks from Michael Rose, and he's an amazing musician, for you to choose personally for your track to represent Willen Hospice, and all of the proceeds, whatever's made, Michael has said, will go to Willen Hospice, and that's his present as part of this month, and that is such a lovely, wonderful, amazing thing that he has done. In terms of our artists on One Life, I'm proud of each and one of you. Continue to do what you do. I've seen some great music, some great albums, some amazing festivals. You know, you keep sharing these things with me on One Life, and I keep putting them on the One Life Facebook page, and I'm proud of every single one of you. The awards keep flowing in. You keep getting those awards, and I keep celebrating them with you. So, do you know what? Invite your friends, invite your families, invite those people who go to watch you to One Life, because actually they're going to see your awards all the way throughout the year, and it's a really good place to be. So that's just my little opening speech. And I wanted to do that only because, and I don't normally have this amount of time before I go and welcome the artists. It's just that there were so many wonderful things which have happened this week, and I just wanted to celebrate those all with you. And I think it's an amazing thing to do. So we are going to get on with this show. We are going to make sure that Robbie tells us everything about herself. But before she does, I am going to showcase Miss Robbie Harte over here in relation to her bio and her best bits from 2024. But we also are going to go back a little bit in her career, because there's some fantastic, amazing things which has happened to you as a singer-songwriter. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so Robbie, you are an award-winning international country music recording artist from Montreal in Canada. Now, Canada or New York, which one? Your bio says 2 places.
My heart is in 2 places, and that's why I wrote
Yeah,
heart in 2 places. So you led right into that one. But I'm from Montreal and a proud Canadian Montrealer, and I followed my heart to New York to move here quite a few years ago and started a life here. And I miss home all the time. I write songs about it. I write songs about having my heart there and my body here and my heart in 2 places. And because that's the life that I live right now, but I'm very fortunate to have 2 places to call home. So
fantastic. Do you literally have 2 places? Do you have 2 houses to live in? One at home and one in New York?
I do have, I have my house in New York, which is mine and my husband and my daughters. We live here. My family all lives in Canada. So I have a open-ended home there whenever I want it. So
fantastic. What's New York life like? My partner goes over to New York a couple of times for work. What's New York like to live in?
So I live in the outskirts of New York. I live about a 50-minute drive to New York City, and we have we live in a suburb, so that's nice for raising a family and for having a more setback life, which is beautiful. But I do travel to the city frequently for recording and for rehearsals and stuff like that, to go see shows. It's a really crazy city. I mean, it's like you can find everything in New York City. It's very unique. It's very busy. It's hustle bustle, and there's a lot going on, and you can really have an amazing, incredible time in the city between the shows, the entertainment, the restaurants, the shopping, everything. It's such an incredible experience, but it's very busy. It's very loud, and it comes with its own unique, how do I say this? Experience.
How about life as an artist in New York? How about life as an artist in New York? Is it competitive? Is it difficult to break out in New York?
I think it's difficult to break out anywhere. There's so many musicians now, and thanks to COVID and the internet, there are musicians popping up everywhere, and so many songs get uploaded to streaming sites every single day. So I think it's difficult to find your niche no matter where you are. But particularly here in New York, I don't think it's a huge country music market. So it might be a little bit more challenging from that respect, but there's an incredible amount of talent that comes into New York from all around the world. Just like people go to Nashville, for country music or for music, people come here for music, and there are people coming from all around the world with their different flavor and style and contributing to the music life here as well. And it's just a beautiful thing.
Fantastic. I just wanted to know a little bit about it. It's only because like my partner's been over there. I'm like, do you know what? I really want to know about New York, and I'm going to ask Robbie what's he really like for the music scene, because I think she went to the Hard Rock Hotel, the music hotel in New York, and she just made me dead jealous when she went. I was like, oh, it's not fair.
It's very beautiful, and the restaurants and the venues here are just amazing. And they're historic. Fantastic. And that they've had the most incredible performers throughout time, right? That have performed at these venues and theaters. And it's just knowing that somebody who you admired all your life performed at this venue that you're performing at. Or like I performed at the Bitter End in New York City a couple of years back. And I believe that's where Lady Gaga was discovered. Well, that's what somebody had said to me. And I'm like, oh, wow, she played on the stage too. And then you think about other artists that you like and you follow that have played at this venue. And you're like, wow, that's amazing that we followed the same journey or same path or a similar path. And it's just amazing.
Do you know what? This is why I love interviewing each and every one of you. When you talk about the stages that you've played on, it's like, oh yeah, Lady Gaga played. It just sounds so blasé. To say, she's your best friend, your next door neighbor. It's like, I've played on the same stage as Lady Gaga.
I don't endorse her. I don't have any prior knowledge of her. No, I'm just kidding. I just only remember that because somebody said to me, oh my gosh, do you know that's where she got discovered? I'm like, no, I didn't know that. Now the pressure just got turned up a teeny weeny bit, but
just a little bit, just a tiny bit.
But I also just recently performed at Woodstock, which is incredible because what happened at Woodstock. So, just to know that other artists graced these same stages, and you imagine what it was like all those years ago with all the crowds that came out to support these artists and people that you followed all your life, and like, wow, I stepped on the same stage. Or
we're going to talk about Woodstock a bit later on in the show, because we're going to talk about the Danny Awards in relation to your role and involvement with the Danny Awards. In terms of yourself, going back to your bio, in terms of your hits and your music, they're regularly coming out and they're amazing. I love listening to your music. You have multiple #1 hits as well, gone into different charts. You've had a Josie Music Award in 2022. You've had 2 ISSA awards. You've been nominated for multiple awards for the Gold Songwriter of the Year within the ISSA. 2023, you gained 3 Jose Music nominations, 5 Who's Country Music Award nominations. Additionally, in 2024, Robbie was nominated to a Red Carpet Award show in Holland and has received a Jose Music Award nomination, include Rising Star in Country. You are a beloved artist and a disability awareness acceptance advocate. When I read all that out, how does that all sound? Does it just like, where did that all come from? How did I manage that?
I think I'll say exactly what you just said right there. If you would have told me all of this, even a fraction of this, 10 years ago, I would have laughed in your face because I was at home in a ball on the couch in pain, and I thought that my dreams were gone forever. So how does it feel? It feels absolutely incredible, but yet surreal. It doesn't feel like it's my life, but it's my life. It's the life that I live every day, and I'm so grateful that I get to do what I love. But it is what I love.
What I love about, I'm going to stop you, Robbie. What I love about you is that you are such a loving, giving person in relation to everybody else. However busy you are, you've always got time for people within the Danny Awards, the other musicians within the ISSA. Your posts are absolutely beautiful that you put out on Facebook. They're always warm and welcoming, and you've got time for everybody. And I think that's what makes you amazing as a musician, but somebody who works so hard. And we will go back to what that life-changing event was for you, but it shows what hard work really can achieve in the music industry. And those awards keep rolling and rolling and rolling. And we are so proud of you at One Life. So proud of you.
Thank you so much. That's so beautiful that you you feel that way about my journey and what I do, I have to tell you, you speak to artists and they say like, oh, I want to be famous. I want to be the next Shania Twain. I want to travel all over the world. That's all amazing. But for me, I do it for the people.
Okay.
The journey is all about the human connection for me, because first of all, I went through something difficult and I felt alone. And part of my desire in life is to connect people and to let them know that they're not alone. Just like you said at the beginning of your interview, at the very beginning when you were speaking about people having difficult times, that is why I do this. I want to inspire people to follow their dreams. I want them to see that there is something that they can strive for, even if it's really difficult. And for me, it's the human connection. And I don't see any of this as a competition. We're all doing different paths, even though we're all musicians and we all want to be recognized or we want to be heard. We all have different paths. And for me, my path is to connect with people, to join people, to inspire people, to uplift people. And I'm still going to have my voice heard doing that. It doesn't stop me or prevent me from being heard or being recognized. It just means that I can take 5 minutes of my day and say, you know what, this person, needs a little bit of encouragement or a little bit of a spotlight shine on them. And it's my pleasure to be able to do that. And I'm happy that I have a platform where I can do that. And people are paying attention, and people do come to me and say, I'm having a bit of a struggle right now. And I get to share them my experience, and they don't only hear what I say, but they see where I came from. And they say, wow, if you can do it, I can do it too. And that is the best reward in the entire world. And actually, second best, the most incredible reward is knowing that I have a teenage daughter who's looking at me and seeing everything that I'm overcoming. And she has to know that anything that ever comes her way, she can overcome as well. That's the first reward.
Fantastic.
But the second reward is, being able just to be recognized in the way that you just described me. That is the best gift. So thank you so much.
So welcome. And then I think
you.
I do this with all my artists. And I think it's easier for me being a host of a podcast show because I'm
And
a singer-songwriter myself. And the dog just said hello as well. Hi, doggy.
He was agreeing with you.
He was agreeing with you. Yeah. What's the dog's name?
Duke.
Duke. Hi, Duke.
Hi, Duke.
So I was just saying, in terms of being a singer-songwriter myself, I think that's what makes me, know a bit more in terms of music industry itself. I know what it feels like, and I know that, I would like to talk about my music all the time. I'd like to promote my music all the time, and I would just like people to see me as a musician, and that's all I want. But I don't want to be that person, and I don't think actually even professional artists want to be that person, even though they're pulled from the stage, they're hounded by the press. At the end of the day, they're just normal people. They've got such a different story outside away from music, and I think that's what One Life does so well. It actually brings in that personal touch to talk to the artists about who they really are and what they really do. So leading into that, it is about One Life in terms of supporting local and national charities. So one of the questions in your bio was, how do you support local and national charities within your music journey?
I hope to be able to support any organization that resonates with me. And there are many, from child hunger to our local hospital, and especially in the disability community, because I'm an artist with a disability and I've gone through a difficult time, and I identify with people who have been affected by those types of situations and need either guidance or assistance to get back on their feet, or just to know that they have a place where they are accepted, because spreading awareness and acceptance is incredibly important. So those are things that deeply touch my heart, as well as our veterans and our service members, which are those charities always resonate with me, because without those people, we wouldn't have the freedom and the liberties that we do have. So I am touched by several charities, and I try to help out as many as I can, but particularly in the disability community, that's really where I am putting a lot of my focus and my attention.
Fantastic. Thank you. And thank you for all the hard work that you put into local and national charities as a musician. I think we don't get thanked enough for what we do. We do as hard work as we possibly can, but actually having a space to recognize the good work that you do as a musician and the amazing work that all the other artists do. What I have said to all the other artists is that actually we need to put some folders or something together where we can collate all the information, the charities that you all support, because there's a lot of people out there always are trying to delve and find a new charity to help them to support their loved ones, you know. So if you do have any charities that you want to sort of talk about or you want people to find out about, please use One Life, post it on our page, and then at least more people can then know, let's go to One Life because they have the right information for us, and we can share that information as artists because we've got a wealth of knowledge between us. So in relation, before we play your new single, because I'm dying to play it, brand new release.
Thank you.
Okay, let's find out a little bit about your journey in terms of when it first started, because it hasn't been an easy ride for you, and it nearly got to the point where actually you couldn't carry on in your music journey. So you had a difficult time. So go for a little bit about your music journey in terms of when it first started, but that particular difficult moment and how you overcome it to become the superstar that you are now.
Thank you. Well, thank you for asking. It was always my lifelong dream to be a singer. That's all I ever wanted to do. But like most people, I had to have a day job to support bills and, you know, be able to be responsible at the time. And I always said, you know, when I get settled, I'm going to pursue this dream. When things settle down and calm down a little bit, I'll pursue this dream. And that was always my plan. And in 2007, I married my husband. I moved to US to get married. And we started our life and everything was amazing. And I was pregnant in 2008. I was pregnant, expecting our first child, which is my daughter. And very, very exciting time for us. Everything was amazing. And I got badly injured out of nowhere. And it was a life-changing injury. And as a result, my life completely came to a grinding halt. And it was such a contrast from being at the top of the world, on top of the world, to just being at the lowest point of my life. And it was like that. It was so deep. It was so difficult because not only was I in physical pain, but I was in a new place where I didn't know anybody, I didn't have any family around, I didn't have support around. And my husband had to work all the time just to be able to support everything because I wasn't able to work anymore. It just became a point where it was so hard. And as it went on, like the longer it went on, I was falling deeper and deeper into this darker time where I wasn't recognizing myself. You know, I had always been this outgoing, bubbly, perky kind of person and talkative and social. And I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't leave the house. I couldn't do things. My husband and my daughter, as she would grow up, they would go out and do things and I couldn't do anything with them. I was on the bed or on the couch and I couldn't move and I was in so much pain. And I had multiple procedures, I had surgery, and nothing was really helping my pain. And it was just such a hopeless feeling that like nothing was ever going to change. I was going to live like this forever. And this pain was stopping me from everything. And it was just so hard. It was hard to imagine that just like that, my whole life had changed. And my daughter started growing up, and the more that they would go and do things together, and they'd always say like, let's go on a bike ride or let's go watch a movie. I couldn't sit in a movie theater. I couldn't do anything. Couldn't go with them on walks. And I was like, you know, my daughter never knew who I was before. She never did. She didn't know what I was like. She didn't know I had fierce jobs, that I was so cool, or that I was anything other than the person that she saw on the couch, that mommy wasn't feeling well. And I couldn't let that be the only image that she ever saw of me. I couldn't let her think that that's all I ever was. And I wanted so badly to be a role model for her. I so badly wanted to show her that I had all these dreams and that I was going to follow them. And I said, you know what? This is going to be really hard, but I have to go out there and I have to chase my dream to be a singer, no matter how difficult it is, because I need to show her that she can do anything, no matter whatever happens. Whatever she's faced with, she can do anything. Because how am I supposed to tell her that in life, when things get hard, you can overcome them if I'm not? So I decided, this was in 2017, I decided that I was going to follow my dream to sing. And at first it was so hard. I'm laughing in my head because I was imagining, how am I going to get up? How am I going to walk to the stage? How am I going to hold a microphone without falling down? Because I have to hold on to something. And I was imagining all of these things that I had to overcome just to be able to do it. And as a result, I forgot to mention that as a result of my severe pain and my spine injury, I lost my ability to sing. So I wasn't able to sing throughout all of those years. I should have mentioned that earlier. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Throughout all of those years when I was going through such a hard time, you know, I normally would sing through the pain and I would belt at the top of my lungs, but I had that taken away from me. I had no outlet. I couldn't scream. I couldn't sing to the top of my lungs. So I was like, I have to go do this. I don't care how hard it is. I don't care how many people, you know, laugh at me because I had a really bad limp. I couldn't stand straight. I couldn't stand pretty much at all. And I was like, you know, I don't care. I don't care who laughs at me. I don't care who says, like, go home, you're too old or whatever. I'm going out there and I'm doing this no matter what. So I started taking voice lessons and slowly but surely started regaining my voice. And not only did it come back, it came back stronger. And with every time that I would overcome something, I would get stronger. And something happened in my brain, in my body, and everything that I became fearless. I became so strong, like emotionally, that this really lifted me out of the most difficult time. And it gave me a purpose. And I was like, I'm going to share my stories. I'm going to write them into songs and I'm going to share them with people. And I'm going to inspire other people that are going through difficult times. And I'm going to let my message and my words do the speaking for me. And that's what I did. And it's been resonating.
And they do.
Thank you. And people seem to be resonating with my music and my message. And it makes me so happy. You know, you were speaking about earlier about people going through hard times and feeling unhappy and not being able to speak about it. Well, I wrote a song about that because we had gone through something with somebody that we knew that I had known that had gone through a difficult time and nobody knew. And all of these experiences, I put them into messages, into songs that are very heartfelt, but they're like journal entries, you know, stories of things I've gone through, and I put them into songs. And they've been really doing amazing job of connecting people. I've gotten messages from people from all around the world that my music has helped them through a difficult time or that it's inspired them and it's the best feeling. It's really an amazing feeling.
Definitely is. And did you know what, Robbie? You know, that must have been so difficult to go through physically. You know, I don't think any of us can ever imagine what it would be like to have something physically take away all the things that we've worked so hard for and all the things that we knew that actually we wanted to have available to us because we were trying to go through a journey at the time, and to have that taken away from us, it was so must have been horrific. Must have been so difficult. But you have shown how passionate you are to overcome all of that.
I have to tell I'm sorry, I also forgot to mention something very ironic as well. Because as I mentioned earlier, I'm not really good at promoting myself, but I did forget to mention this. This is very interesting. So music gave me a reason to rise, and my daughter gave me a reason to rise. They gave me a reason to get up out of my pain and out of my situation and do something. And it brought me up from a difficult situation. And in September of 2022, I released a song called Reason to Rise. And the song is about how music and my daughter gave me breath, they gave me life, and they lifted me up and they gave me a reason to rise through these difficult times. In November of 2022, I was in a bad car accident. So just 2 months later, and then I was back to being bedridden. I couldn't do anything. I had severe injuries. I couldn't play guitar. I couldn't hold a microphone. I couldn't write with a pen. My pain was so bad. I couldn't be on the computer for months. I couldn't do almost anything. It was a really, really difficult recovery journey. The only difference is that when I was injured in 2008, I lost who I was. I lost sight of who I was. And it was a very different scenario. In 2022, I knew who I was. I knew I was coming up swinging, and I knew it was just a matter of time because I already have my reason to rise. I already knew that I'm going to get myself back up there. I'm going to be back at my old self because I knew I had reason. I had my music, I had my daughter, I had my family, and I had all of these things lifting me up. And yes, it took time because the body takes time to heal, and so does the mind from injuries and accidents. But I knew that I already had my reason to rise. So I knew it wasn't going to be like in 2008 when I was, injured the first time, because I already had gone through that. I'd lifted myself up from this. Now it was just like, okay, rinse and repeat. We're getting back out there. And thankfully,
I tell you what, Robbie, you're reminding me of something. Just before the show, we were talking about my name, and you're saying, "What do you call me? Do you call me AJ or Adrian?" We're talking about a Rocky film. I tell you what, listening to your journey, I feel as though I'm talking to a female Rocky Balboa. You think about his life and how he got back up, whatever was in front of him, he got back up. He could be punched a million times, and then he got back up and he won that winning fight. It sounds like your life. You're such an amazing woman. You really are.
Thank you.
And such an inspiration to all of us in the ISSA, all of us in terms of music, in terms of music industry. And I know why you are an advocate and a speaker, because at the end of the day, you're one of those people who can inspire everybody, because you've been there, you've gone through it, and you've fought your way right back to the top of where you are now in terms of those awards and things like that. Your life is an amazing journey, and it's adamant to where you are now. I'm going to let you take a bit of a break, because going through all that in your head must be absolutely really difficult. So what we're going to do is we're going to play your new release, which comes out September 29th.
September 20th. It's on Friday. Will be
September 20th. Oh, wow. We got that long to wait then. Everybody's dying to hear it, but we have also got an exclusive.
And I do think that you also just gave the premise of the song.
I did. I was just going to say you can do it yourself. I know. I did. It just slipped out, So
nope.
Robbie, let's take a break. Let's listen to your song. Tell us all about this new release of yours in terms of Sawdust on the Floor. Why Sawdust on the Floor? How did you get to that naming of that track?
So I think you just did such a great job leading into this, So Sawdust on the Floor is about my personal growth on my journey. With every difficult time that I've gone through, I've changed, I've evolved, and I've grown. And it's almost like something was chipping away at this work of art. And every time that I'm going through something, there's parts of me that are, the negative stuff is left on the floor, and I'm transforming into this more evolved and empowered person with everything I'm going through. So Sawdust on the Floor is a song about empowerment and growth, and it's just brilliant.
Should we let everybody listen to it?
I hope that you do, and I hope that you enjoy it.
I'm going to definitely enjoy it. I've already heard it. Here we go.
You don't know me or where I'm from. Seen the challenges that I've overcome. I fought wars no one knows about, but virtue and grace keep my feet on the ground. This shining light born from darkness and the pain makes me come alive. From invisible to invincible, nothing scares me anymore. All this standing's got me living stardust on the floor. Dusting off the ashes of the flames that came before. Through the smoke you'll see me clearly, not the same I was before. If you feel like you can't get through, come on over and try on these boots. Walk with some swagger, dance to your blues. Nothing to fear, ain't got nothing to lose. This shining light born from darkness and the pain makes me come alive. From invisible to invincible, nothing scares me anymore. All this branding's got me living stardust on the floor. Dusting off the ashes
I love it. 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 That was amazing.
I couldn't hear. Thank you. I couldn't hear the song, but judging by your expressions, I could tell where the song was.
I don't know why you couldn't hear it. It was playing in the background. Oh no.
No, but I was watching you and I was like, I could tell exactly where the song is because you were hanging back and groove, and then you were like,
do you know what? At the end of the film, I'm going to send this out, and I hope it is. If not, I'm tagging it in for everybody, because I tell you what, it's one of those songs which is going to fly when it goes out. When it gets released, it's going to fly. It is going to be another number one for you. I know that.
I appreciate it. What was your favorite part?
All of it. There's no favorite part. There's all of it. I think the favorite part for me is it's one of those songs. It's about your life journey, but it's also about other people's life journeys. I think it's one of those songs that can make someone feel so determined to not let life get to them, be the best that they possibly can, and actually showcase themselves in the best possible way like you do. And I think that's what the song brings. It makes me sit and think, do you know what? Get off the lazy bugger. Get off the floor. You can do it just as good as what Robbie can, and you can get those awards just as much as Robbie can. And I think that's
or the satisfaction. Yeah, or just the satisfaction of doing it, right?
Definitely. I'm so proud of you, and that song is going to fly. It really is. I bet I was going to say to you after the song, but it's really weird to listen to back, because obviously you sing it in the studio and then having to hear that song back again. But obviously you didn't get to hear it, which I'm gutted. I'm going to talk to my technicians after the show and say, what went on?
I have to tell you, it was almost better because I was watching how the song was affecting you, and I could literally almost guess where the song was just based on thank you. And I'm actually
you know, when those bits when you're listening to a song and you're a chat show host and you want to talk over the top of the song, but you got to remember you're not a DJ no more, you're a chat show host, so you've got to listen to the song all the way through. And I was just wanting to complain to you about the song itself.
You know, I have to tell you, one of the things about being an artist, especially a singer-songwriter who shares such personal songs and stories, one of the most unnerving parts of it is how people are going to receive what you put out into the universe, right? Because it's personal. All of my songs are personal, and they're all things I've gone through. So putting them out there and letting them for interpretation by other people is extremely unnerving. But seeing somebody hear what you've put out there, something that is based on something difficult or painful, and you put it out there and they love it, or that you can see the effect it physically has on them, is amazing. That's the best. It's so amazing.
Brilliant. That's the best. And I just also want to remind people in Facebook and YouTube world, exactly 36 minutes into this program, if you just see me going like this and there's no music going on, please don't turn the show off, okay? Because I'm not acting stupid. I am listening to Robbie's music. So if you were the same out there, give us a text in the comments that actually you've just watched AJ being absolutely stupid, smiling away to himself, but no one else hear the music.
It was perfect.
So give us a comment. If not, I tell you what, I will make sure that this music goes out to everybody. Going back to what we talked about prior to the show, we were talking about the Danny Awards. One of the things how we connected in terms of disability, you know, you inspired me to put a track out of one of mine to the Danny Awards. And we have got the Danny Awards coming live and proud in November. We're all going to be raising money for them. And we've got some of their artists who are coming onto the show in November. So in relation to your role in the Dannies, can you tell everyone a bit about the Dannies and your role?
Sure. Thank you. And thank you so much for doing that, by the way. I'm so glad to see you sharing about them and shining a light on what they do. What they do is absolutely incredible. So I am so blessed to have been working with Daniel's Music Foundation for the last few months on projects. My role is mostly to basically do outreach to individuals to let them know about the Daniel's Music Foundation and the events that they do, and also to raise awareness and also to do fundraising for them as well. And part of my, actually how we connected was because I was posting about a call to action for submissions for the Danny Awards. So the Danny Awards are Daniel Music Foundation's award show that recognizes excellence in musicians with disabilities. And it's a global award show that's hosted every year. And this year it's hosted at the Town Hall in New York City. on October 19th, and it's going to be an incredible event. And submissions came in from all over, really. And originally, I think they were going to have 10 award recipients, and I think that they had a tie this year, so they had to go for 11, and that's all very amazing. The quality of submissions from around the world is just absolutely amazing, and there's so many that it's so difficult to narrow down, I'm sure. I was very privileged to be a judge this year, and it was incredible to see people's submissions, because I always am touched to see people doing what they love and their craft. And it is just an absolute honor to be able to participate in any capacity with them, and especially as a judge. So that was amazing. And
brilliant.
Yeah,
And
I'm so proud of
in
you.
terms of Danny's, I'm not going to me, because at the end of the day, I looked at the Danny Awards from last year, and I tell you what, out there in YouTube land and Facebook land, if you are a disabled person, whether you are physically disabled, whether you can communicate or not, whether you have difficulties in terms of anxiety, you know, depression, mental health, do you know what? The artists were phenomenal in a Danny's last year. And, you know, there was even an artist playing the guitar with his feet. Like, you know, I was just, wow, how does that happen? You know give us a flavor of some of the artists that you judged this year, because they must have been coming from everywhere. And it just shows music's in every single person's body, and whether or not you are physically disabled or whether or not you can't communicate, you can make music everywhere.
Absolutely. And I think it's one tool that we all have in our toolbox that can allow us to connect with everybody, right? And I think that even if we have differences, that is something that overcomes barriers, and it's an incredible thing. But as for the incredible, talented people that submit, and I'm so proud of you for submitting. I'm so happy that got you kickstarted and following your path again. So I'm very, very pleased to hear that. And as far as this year's honorees and last year's honorees, there have been some incredible musicians. You mentioned about the artist who plays guitar with his feet. So I performed on stage at the same stage as him this year. His name is George Dennehy, and he was born without arms, so he doesn't have arms, but he learned how to play piano and I believe cello or violin with his feet. He does everything with his feet. And he's also a motivational speaker and incredible human being. And it is humbling to see somebody with so much passion and determination, because anybody can say at any given time, oh, it's too hard, I don't want to do this. But how much do you want something? How badly do you want something? Are you going to let these things stand in your way, or are you going to overcome them? And that's what these artists do. You know, there's an artist who I can't recall what year she won, but she's on their label on Just Call Me By My Name, an opera singer who's visually impaired. And I think she's 14, Yolanta, the most incredible voice that you've ever heard, honestly. Such a beautiful voice and such a young, determined woman. And she's visually impaired, and you would never believe the sound that comes out of such a young lady. It's absolutely amazing. It's awe-inspiring. In terms of this year's submissions, you can actually go on to www.danielsmusic.org/thedannys, and you can click on the link, and you'll actually get to see this year's award recipients. And there's a reel with clips from all of those different individuals, and absolutely amazing. There are some artists that have limb differences. I think there might be another visually impaired artist, but at the end of the day, they're just incredible artists. They're amazing artists.
They're artists at the end of the day.
Their passion and their determination.
I met the family, and you know, in terms of Chris and speaking to Chris, you know, that family are just amazing. They are so committed to supporting the disabled community and seeing people as artists, not as a disability. And Chris told me that as soon as I spoke to him, and bless him, he just said straight away, he said, one thing, if you know anything about me, you don't speak about my disability. I'm an artist just as much as anyone else. And I said, you know what, mate? I said, you are an artist. I've listened to your music, what you sent over. And I said, you got a great voice. And I said, and you're just as much as an artist as what I am and as what Robbie is. I said, at the end of the day, you're an amazing young man. And in relation to everyone else on there, you know, at the end of the day, they are trying to reach out to everyone around the world. Well, I didn't know them before I'd met you, Robbie. I didn't know anything about the Danny Awards, but there are some amazing, talented artists over here in the UK who are going to benefit in November, finding out more about the Danny Awards. And just to let Robbie know, just a little personal thing for Robbie, I work for a huge charity over in the UK, one of the biggest charities there are in the UK. And we have just been able to get in contact with the Dannys and start sharing some of the music programs and dance programs and things like that. They stream live from the New York City on their website.
I'm so happy to hear that
our adults are starting to watch their videos, and we're starting to sort of work how we can connect. And I'm going to be doing the same after the awards, and I'm going to be bringing that Danny's project stronger into the UK, because we have got some very talented musicians over here, and I think Britain's got talent. And I will say that, and I don't normally say that, for someone who was on X Factor and went through that personal journey of X Factor thinking it's all a fix, I want to actually shout out to Britain's Got Talent. And, you know, I think Simon Cowell has done an amazing job showcasing our disabled community over the last few years. He has showcased so many disabled people who have become winners. And I think that's absolutely amazing. So I know Simon Cowell's not going to be listening to my show, and hopefully one of the producers, you never know. But even if one of the producers are, or someone who's connected to that world, you know, I just want to give a big shout out in the UK, because we do that, and you have been recognising disabled you know, singers and artists, you know, over the last few years. And I'm so proud of you for doing that. But I think the Danny's project is going to add to that fact that we're going to be drawing you out. And I think November, that's what it's all about. It's drawing those artists out, finding who they are, and showcasing them like we showcase our artists from month to month. And I'm really looking forward to November. And thank you so much for everything what you've done.
Of course. And don't forget too, Daniel's Music Foundation offers their music program online and in person all year long. So they're really committed to improving the lives of individuals with disabilities all year round with different programs. So it's amazing.
Fantastic. Brilliant. And thank you for all that you do as well.
Thank you.
Live at the Danny's project. We're coming towards the last 10 minutes. We've got a little bit more time to spend together. So I want to know, what's your highlights been this year? What's been the biggest moments for you?
It's really hard to say. You know, I think everything that happens is a blessing, and I'm so grateful for every opportunity. Having just slowly come back from my injury, from my accident, getting back out there has been amazing. You know, it's something that was very liberating. Not being able to perform for so long, not being able to play guitar for so long, and to get out there and perform has been very difficult, because I love connecting with people. So taking that away and not being able to do that for almost a year was very challenging.
Has there been an award or a festival or a music release that is basically said, yeah, that's the moment? That's what I'm so proud of it this year. Has there been something that has really made you smile? You do so, Robbie. I'm going to stop you. You do so much, and you're such a humble person. I absolutely love talking to you.
But
you never promote yourself. The question was about yourself. What awards? What was it that really made you smile this year?
Okay. All right. Here we go. I'm going to change hats a little bit right now. Okay.
Change hats. Come on. You're not an advocate. You're a musician.
While we're talking about Daniel's Music Foundation, I was incredibly honored to perform at Hello Inclusion, which is a festival of possibilities at Woodstock this past summer, which was absolutely incredible. It was such a magical day, and being on that iconic stage was a dream come true. It was just really amazing, and I couldn't be more proud to be on that stage for that festival, because everything that they stand for is so close to my heart. And then to be able to perform my original songs at that event was just amazing. So that was incredible. I am very, very proud of my music that I've been releasing. I actually released a song in April called Heart in Two Places, about having my heart in Canada and having my home here. And the song did really well. It actually reached number 6 on Canadian Billboard. Wow. So I'm very, very proud of that. That was incredible. And I only found out about that because I get Google alerts when people write things about me, I guess, on the internet. And I got an alert and I opened it up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm on Billboard in Canada. This is insane.
Wow.
It was the most incredible thing to randomly find in my inbox. So that was amazing. And actually, coming up very soon on Sunday, I'm going to be performing at the Long Island Music and Entertainment Hall of Fame. I'm doing my own show from 3 to 4, which I'm incredibly excited about because although I'm from Canada, my entire music journey really started here in New York. Everything I've done musically, original music, and really putting my career out there 100% only started while I was living in Long Island. So it's really amazing to be able to be performing there. It's such an amazing venue, and I'm very, very excited about it. I'm going to be performing my brand new song, Sawdust on the Floor, there. So I'm very happy. And it was just a funny thing, you know. I was performing at another show a couple of months back, and somebody in the audience came up to me after and they said, oh, I saw your performance and I thought you were awesome. And I work at this venue. You really should, we'd love to have you come and check it out. And so I did. And I'm very, very excited about that. So it's very, very, very special to me. And my producer, Matt Anthony, who does my production and he does the music on my tracks, he's going to be playing with me at this show. So I'm very excited.
Oh,
so they're going to get just a little bit more than just singer-songwriter Robbie with my guitar. Because, you know, although I do accompany myself, I'm not a guitarist, you know, so it'll be amazing to perform as a duo and to really bring these songs to life in person and share these stories.
Fantastic. It sounds as though you got an exciting year ahead.
Thank you.
Sounds as though it's going to be a busy one.
Thank you. And I am nominated for 5 Josie Music Awards, which will be taking
I was going to chuck that in. Here she goes. Come on now. Just took the advocate, you know, let's like support everybody else. I'm just going to throw out there that I'm going for Josie.
You know what? I'm up for 5 and it's amazing to me because the last 2 years I was nominated for 3 each year. And this year I'm nominated for 5. So I'm very excited. I'm like very excited because I feel like as I'm growing as an artist, so is my accomplishments and everything is growing, and I'm very excited about that. And that takes place at the Grand Ole Opry in October. So I'm very excited to hear the outcome of that and to see. And I wish everybody good luck and congratulations to all the nominees because it's an incredible feat. I think they get 75,000 submissions a year, and I think only 2 or 3% make it to nomination.
Wow, that is amazing. And there you go, Robbie. I have got that hat off. I have got your advocacy for everybody else's hat off. I finally, it's only took me 53 minutes. I have got the real Robbie Harte in terms of being the musician who she is and being proud of the musician who he is. You know, I think we've connected so much over the last few weeks in terms of the last few months talking about everybody else, the support for everyone else, the support for me, you know, everything going on in terms of the daddies and things. I'm like, come on, Robbie, you're such an amazing woman when it comes to your music. I want you to talk about you.
Thank you. You know, I don't mind. You know, I feel like everybody gets their moment to shine, and like lighting somebody else's spotlight doesn't take away from my spotlight, you know, and I'm very happy.
Well, I'll tell you what, in this show, we've covered everybody's spotlight. And you've helped me, you know, in terms of all the people that you've shared your music journey with. And it's been a fantastic, amazing show. And I've enjoyed it so much. Can I just ask you if there's any, can I just ask you before we go, is there anybody out there who you really want to say a big thank you in terms of supporting your musical journey and also your emotional journey, your family journey? You've spoken a lot about family and who you are as a person, things like that. And I think we've shared that. But is there anyone you want to say a special thanks to?
There are quite a few people. So how much time do we have?
We've got as much time as you want.
So first and foremost, well, thank you for having me on the show today and sharing my story and my journey. That's so amazing. And I appreciate you so much taking your time to talk about me and my music. My family, you know, without my family's love and support, I would not be doing what I'm doing. You know, it's one thing to be an artist. It's a very hard job. Like you mentioned at the top of the show, it's very difficult emotionally, and it takes up so much of your energy, emotionally, physically, everything. And I'm so grateful that my family not only supports me, but inspires me as well. And I'm very lucky to get that from them. So those are the first people I thank, you know, God for giving me the gift and for for helping me through my hard times so that I can continue to share my message with people who need to hear it. I want to thank every single person who's ever listened to any of my music, who's spun my music, who shares my stories or my message, and all those people who listen to the songs and get something out of it. And if it's helped them or if it's made them feel less alone, thank you for that, because that's why I do what I do. Thank you to all the radio stations who play my music and everybody who, puts me out there to be heard. So thank you so much. And as an independent artist, really, my fans and my listeners are so important to me. And they fuel me. They give me the strength, to keep sharing what I'm doing, because I know that it's resonating with people. So thank you to all of you.
That's great. That's so lovely. I've always got time for this bit, because I think, to actually, people don't get an opportunity to say thank you to everybody. We're working so hard like you are, but to have a space to breathe and say thank you to everybody. I think it's the most important part of the show.
You. It's
so
the
in terms
most
of
important.
It is, your music journey, but I think actually having friends and family who support your journey all the way through, actually recognizing them. This is why I always say One Life, come on, we're not just a community of artists. We want your friends, we want your family to come and join us on YouTube, to come and join us on One Life, to share our journey and to basically tell us what we're doing and how we're getting it right for you. If one of our songs has touched your heart, tell us, because we'll make sure the next single comes out in the same way.
Yeah. Actually, one more person to thank. It's Matt Anthony.
Go for it.
Thank you for bringing my songs to life. Thank you for understanding what my crazy ideas are sometimes when I can't articulate them, because without that, I don't think that they would have as much impact. So now I'm done.
Fantastic. Now she's done. She's now got it. It's almost like a speech, Now she's done. Now she's done. Robbie, thank you so much for all your time that you've given to One Life, and we do wish you luck. We will be inviting you to come back very soon, because we want to catch up with you. We want to know what you've been doing since we last spoken to you. So, we will be in touch. Keep sharing your music with us. Keep sharing your festivals with us on One Life. Keep posting on that Facebook page, because we all want to know what you've been up to. In terms of the final goodbyes to YouTube and in terms of Facebook itself, I hope you've enjoyed today's show as much as I have. I'm really hoping that music song did go out. It weren't just me bopping. But I make sure that between me and Robbie, we get that shared to you. In relation to One Life, I want to basically say at the beginning of the show, we're always going to be there for you, okay? We're always going to have a voice to be able to pick up the phone or pick up an email or pick up a text message to speak to you. You're never alone. We're always there for you at One Life. In relation to how you can be there for One Life, we are a community of support for each other. We're a community support for the charities locally and nationally. We have actually just set up a GoFundMe. So if any artist or of any sort of supporting fan or anything like that would like to continue to see these shows, please give to the GoFundMe, because 50% of that money will not come into our pockets. It will go back into local and national charities. So I want to keep this project. I've only started literally doing this project in terms of the podcast side over the last 2 months, but actually I've been overwhelmed by the amount of talent that's come onto the show already. And I'm busy for the rest of September, October, November, December. It's gone crazy, but I want to keep bringing you these artist stories, and I want to keep supporting local and national charities out there, because I think there's so many that we can touch. We're only week 2 of the second month, and we're going to have a third charity and a fourth charity who we're going to be donating to. So I can see big things from bright futures for One Life, and I want everybody to join that journey with me. So that's a GoFundMe link. It is on the screen. I will put it up. In terms of Willen Hospice, still keep giving to those nurses over at Willen Hospice in Milton Keynes. Any donation would be greatly received and kindly received as well. So, Robbie, do you want to know who's on next week?
I would love to know who's on next.
Do you want a sneak preview? Should we tell everybody?
Yes, let's do it.
Nobody knows yet because I haven't put the post up.
Oh.
If everyone's noticed, I've been doing it daily. I normally do a week show, because we've had so many people on. It's actually taken me more time to put a week show list together than it is a day show list. So I've been doing it individually for you all. So on next week's show, I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to post it. So we have got the amazing princess herself, the little princess, the little pink princess, from I say. I can't wait to meet her and her mum, May Devo. award winner over the ISSA, and you will have a great time with Maeve. And I'm hoping she is going to bring her pink princess outfit onto the show for you all to see with her mum. It's great. I don't know if you made it to Atlanta, but she went there with her princess outfit, and oh wow, it looked amazing. So we've also got Hunter Lott. He's coming onto the show as well, and I'm really looking forward to meeting Hunter. His music's amazing, and it's going to be a really fantastic show. Hunter's great. Also got Linda Marks, also from the ISSA group. She's coming on to the show as well, and that's going to be a fantastic time to get to chat and understand about her music journey as well. And I've got a bit of a showcase this week. We have got, are you ready for this, Robbie? The one, the only, Mr. Best Dressed of ISSA, Dimitri.
I knew you were going to say that when you said best dressed of ISSA. I'm like,
yeah, I give a little bit of a sneak preview there. So Dimitri is going to basically presence our show next week. What a lineup! How am I going to keep up with all of those artists?
Week, yeah.
It's going to be a great week, and I'm really looking forward to some such talented artists. You're all talented. Every single one of you are amazing, and it's a pleasure to be friends and family with you all. And it's great. It's really, really great. So I'm going to close the show this evening. I'll see you all tomorrow. And I've had a really fantastic time with the one, the only, Robbie Harte. Take care, everyone. Good night. See you later. Goodbye.
Bye from New York.
Bye from the UK. See you later, everyone. Take care.